Welcome, Virgo. Virgo rising and those with their moons in Virgo to your intuitive energy forecast for Virgo season. It's your time to shine from August 22nd until September 22nd. Now, before we dive deep into your astrology charts where we see the sun is shining in your first house of self, all eyes are on you, Virgo. Before we look at that, let's take a look at your cards. All right, so we're going to use our cards, the Power of 8 Chakra Lenormand cards. And when you buy them off our website, you get them as a set with the pink cards as well. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look at your Lenormand cards for Virgo season. Ooh, the moon feelings. Okay, so in Lenormand, the moon can very much talk about it can be romantic too. And because the first house is across from the seventh house of your close one-on-one relationships, there could be a big, transformation, shift in the way you feel. It's a very intuitive placement as well. You know, the moon is our feelings. It's our inner self. It can also mean a little bit in Lenormand about your fame and reputation in a certain way. But let's just see what else. Okay, getting a little ahead of myself here. Okay, so stability, emotions, your feelings about being stable. The anchor often comes up in a work career related thing. So it could be, some of you Virgos might be considering your work environment. Is it feeling good? Is it feeling secure? Is my job just a job or is it a career? All sorts of sort of work issues. But in other news, if it's not career related, it just means are you secure in your relationships, in your one-on-one? Are you secure in your business partnerships? Are you secure with yourself and your identity? Are you secure in the way your thoughts, how your thoughts are going? Okay, now let's see here. Aha, Phoenix Rising. So this is a bonus card that we created. What's interesting about this card, I always think this is very special when we get this card. In the Lenormand deck, regular Lenormand only has 36 cards, but we made some bonus cards for this deck. This one actually was resin. When you make orgonite, orgone energy devices. I used to make a lot of those, but Michelle was making a plate to stock one of her stores in BC there. And when the resin stopped curing, as it's drying, it cures. It made this design. And I was like, oh my God, Michelle, that's Phoenix. That's a Phoenix Rising. That's what we should make the card. And she's like, really? Because she drew and painted out most of the other cards, right? This one was made by nature, kind of like the resin, the paint in the resin was curing. And so this is very special, rising out of the ashes. And 3 + 8 = 11. That magical 11, new awareness to a portal that you're going into. And because Virgo, you are in the first house of self, which we will be looking at in your astrology, this is a new beginning for you. Time to rise out. You're a little more popular right now through Virgo season. You are a little more famous, maybe at work or maybe in your business. And so, in another way you could read this is you're in a transformation period. A transformation of the self, a transformation of your identity, Virgo. This is like a chapter reset, or maybe even it's a whole new book for you. It's very exciting. The 8, 3 + 5 = 8 in the anchor of being stable. And 8 is the number of, the power of 8. The 8th house, transformation, Phoenix rising from the 8th house, run by Scorpio, all that kind of stuff. You may have felt down here in some way or restricted or suppressed in some way. And this is kind of your chance to rise and shine. Okay, Virgo, like the Phoenix rising. We do see quite a bit of this red root chakra healing. Think black and dark red. It's about, if you could Google root chakra healing later, listen to root chakra healing music for security, stability, as you rise out of the ashes, as you are rising and transforming into your new identity, Virgo, and really tapping into those deep feelings. Wow, very interesting. Let's see what the astrology says for you during Virgo season. Ooh, I'm so excited. So yes, Virgo, we see that the sun is in the first house of self. All right, the sun in Virgo. And so it is a time of a new identity. The first house is our physical self, our avatar on this reality, right? The shell that our soul resides in, right? This meat suit that we're in. So for some of you, it could be a change in the way you look, literally, like a new wardrobe, a new hairstyle, or you're working on your fitness or how you look physically. That can definitely be a thing. But often I see with first house stuff, it's a lot about our relationships to ourself and our higher self and the deep, dark emotions and all of the stuff, right? Really facing it and looking at all that stuff, what's holding us back, what's restricted. And then it can be also about like a spouse, right? Like sometimes when we have transits in the first house of ourself, our identity changes. And then maybe the other person that we're with, our husband or wife, things just don't seem like we're going on the same path anymore. So if that's happening to you, I would suggest, because I like when couples stay together and try to work it out, because as we get older, all these new experiences, transits happen to us, and sometimes the other person has to catch up. Or, how do I say it? So if this going for, I would try my best to try and work out the issue. And if you can't, well, maybe it is time for breakup. If you've been in an abusive relationship, this is a good time to rise out of that, get the help you need, and start over again. I like when couples stay together, but when there's a viable relationship there. Okay. So there's that. There's an identity shift for you, Virgo, at this time, and so let's look a little further in your astrology to glean some more information. Okay, Virgo, you are run by Mercury. On September 9th, Mercury moves into Virgo. But before September 9th, you are in the 12th house of reflection. Your thoughts are suppressed, repressed. Your thoughts are quiet. It could be a time to get away from the world until September 9th. Go out in nature. Have a retreat. Do a yoga thing. I don't know, whatever, but like maybe get away from the hustle and bustle of everyday 3D life that we live in, for example. A time to recharge your batteries and think about what's next and really assess how you're feeling, right? The moon feelings card. And then on September 9th, things move into your sign of Virgo, where you suddenly get that aha moment, right? Your thoughts with Mercury, your brain starts to, your analytical kicks in, your analysis kicks in. And that can mean analysis paralysis too, Virgo, so watch out for that. Take time to sort of listen to your heart, because I know you're very cerebral. You're a data-driven, look at the fine details, quite cerebral, analytical person. So, this could be a time right now until September 9th to just go into the heart, go into your spiritual self. Let's talk about Venus. Okay, so Venus, I like to look at for a little bit of abundance and maybe some good luck or money or something like that, the love stuff. And there is stuff for you in your second house of money. But I think based on your chart, this is your values changing. What you used to think was valuable is not anymore, or something's changing there. Or maybe you've got a new value system, or you think the way you look at things is different. And so there's big change for you, Virgo. I can see that for sure. I mean, you could have some nice luck coming in, though. Like you could get a boost of income in some way. It could be by getting a new job. It could be by getting a promotion at work, or making new one-on-one commitments, contracts with your clients, doing the one-on-one work. There's opportunity for more income money-wise, but more than that, it goes deeper than that. It's your sense of value, your own self-worth. And I think based on the cards, the Phoenix rising in your feelings, starting to realize, hey, I'm worth it. Hey, I'm awesome. I'm not giving myself enough credit. And realizing that we need you, Virgo. And that, you're way more valuable than maybe you've been feeling lately, maybe. So keep that in mind. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Okay? Because you are, The second house for Venus tells me about what are you putting in your mouth. I said this to another sign, I forget which sign it was, but the message came through loud and clear. It's not the salt in your diet, it's the sugar. Sugar is the white devil. Sugar is the one that feeds the beasts, whether it's tumors, yeast, or bacteria or anything like that. Sugar is what we need to watch for. And so the second house often has what's going in our mouth. Food is fuel. And I know, Virgo, you're already health conscious and you know that already. But if you're noticing that you're eating more sweets or you're like turning to dessert as a comfort, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying be aware that the reasoning why is because your values are changing and you're wanting to find comfort in your self-worth. So use your analytical mind and realize you're worth it. And as your values change, I'm sure you'll get back to your normal, healthy eating habits, Virgo. Okay? Mars is what I look at for where's our energy at. And it is in your 11th house of your groups, organizations, and your friends. There's some energy, some luck with your friends. Your friend group might be changing, as you go through your identity shift. As you go through your own identity shift, it could be that some of your old friends fall, and then in order new friends, new acquaintances come into your life. It could be a sign from the universe saying, hey, who are you hanging out with? Like, what they say, where you look at your top 3 friends that you hang out with, and that's your energy in a way, So it could be that. It could be like looking at that. But another thing too is because Mars is in Cancer and it doesn't really like being in Cancer. Long story short, Mars is hot and fiery. Cancer is very watery and intuitive and nurturing and kind of puts water onto Mars's fire and fizzles it out. So Mars is technically in its fall position when it's in Cancer. Okay. So that means that there can be a little bit of, you might notice your friends are emotionally up and down. Maybe there's some arguments with a friend. So just watch for that. And if that happens, just remember, love is the key. There's a lot of stuff going on in the cosmos right now. In fact, I'm recording this the day before the full moon on August 19th, where it's going to be very conflicting energies. So just to keep that in mind, that I get by with a little help with my friends. But sometimes, with Mars in Cancer, it could be a little bit of a wonky, weird, a little bit weird there. Although Jupiter's in detriment, Jupiter brings you some luck in your career, though. So if there ever was a time to start thinking about what am I doing for my career, not just a job, but my career, you could have some expansion there. You just have to decide, based on your new identity, based on your new moral compass, based on your new values that we just talked about, what do I want to do? Go from here when it comes to career. And finally, Virgo, I really wanted to talk about this one thing that I noticed a lot of astrologers are not talking about. It's that Pluto is going retrograde for its last hurrah. Pluto's going retrograde from September 1st until November 19th. This is your last chance to do something transformative in your 5th house. So this retrograde period is a chance to review and reanalyze and decide what we're going to do next. Pluto wants to transform you on a deep level in your 5th house. Now, the 5th house is your kids, so there could be some transformation with your children. 5th house is your creations in life. So maybe you've been working on a project, a creative project, maybe a book, maybe a music, maybe whatever it is. You've been working on something. This is your last chance to decide what we're doing with that, maybe. Okay. 5th house is often too, I noticed, the entrepreneurial, your side gig, your entrepreneurship, your company. So you're reflecting now before Pluto moves into Aquarius until 2043. And it'll stay there until 2043. This is Pluto's last hurrah. I like to say that because it's the last chance to really decide, okay, what am I doing? So you have until November 19th to, really think about your 5th house stuff. How can we transform? How do we get over our fear? Pluto runs that card, Pluto, the Phoenix rising from the ashes in some way. Now, the 5th house is a very creative house. So if you can create, think about, art therapy. Could be good for you, Virgo. Art therapy, music. Pluto loves sound healing. Could be very helpful to you at this time too, to help get things straight, to help balance the energy. So think about that. It's good to think about what's my next step to in my entrepreneur, my business. What do I do next? So that looks good indeed. All right, Virgo, so thanks for watching. And if you'd like your own personal reading, come see me at www.themoontree.org. And we can look at your cards, your stars, and talk to spirit and see what's up and navigate life's energies. All right, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.